All right, we are here with the final chapter, chapter 4 of my NXT Timeline, 2021 to present, the aftermath of the Wednesday Night War. So after NXT's defeat in the Wednesday Night War, NXT announced they are moving to Tuesdays on April 13th. NBC and the WWE, they reached a multi-year deal that would keep NXT on USA Network. I was surprised by that. NXT will be moving from Wednesday to Tuesday nights beginning April 13th. Speaking with Variety, W Executive President of Global Talent Strategy, Triple H, said the decision was to have the show on Wednesdays was initially to keep things consistent with its original time slot. But now it's established on cable, they feel that moving it is less of an issue. We feel like NXT is a good place. We believe that the fans will follow us. They can grow the brand, blah, blah, blah. Just another political statement. They know why they moved, so that they want to get beat by AEW anymore. My reaction to this, I thought this was a bad move. I saw NXT as being a bunch of cowards. To me, it should have stayed on Wednesday nights fighting against AEW, get back their number one slot. But moving to Tuesdays, man, it makes them look like a coward. It does. You can't beat AEW on Wednesdays. You have to move to Tuesdays to compete with Impact and say, hey, we won a battle against TNA. Looks ridiculous. And I had a bunch of idiots on Twitter coming at me saying, no, this is a good thing. Both shows will grow the brand. They'll get better ratings. And while yes, AEW can grow their audience up to 1 million. While yes, NXT can get their ratings close to the 800,000 where AEW is. AEW has a greater chance of getting to 1 million. So that this isn't going to solve AEW still beating NXT. It won't. And just because NXT is on Tuesdays, they won't get better ratings. I said within 6 months, NXT's ratings will go back to where they were before the war. You go back to getting 500,000 viewers. And I was right. They're getting 400 to 500,000 now. NXT being on the same night of AEW wasn't the problem. That's why NXT was not doing well. They were not doing well because their shows sucked, not because of the time slot. Moving the Tuesdays does not do anything. All right, the first night, I said they would get a big rating, but it wouldn't last, and that's what happened. The ratings were big. They got 800,000 viewers. But it didn't last long. It only lasted a few weeks before it went right back to where they were. Changes in look and presentation. Nick Khan, WWE's president, did an interview with Ariel Helwani. He said that NXT will see a new look, a new feel, and there will be some big changes to the product on how they scout talent, look for talent. They said they no longer want to hire people from the indies. They want to seek talent from elsewhere, which I'm fine with that as long as they are booked and presented correctly. A report also came out and said that Vince McMahon would be more hands-on with NXT, and that the writing team would now be reporting to Bruce Pritchard instead of Paul Beck or Shawn Michaels or Road Dogg. So Bruce Pritchard, the executive director of now Raw and SmackDown, now directs both Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. The amount of power that he has right next to Vince McMahon is incredible. Vince, Bruce, Dunn, Nick Khan, man, those four guys know how to own a fortress. So then the changes came into effect. First, the change was the logo. There's the old NXT logo on the right. On the left. On the right is the new logo, NXT 2.0. And to me, this logo does not look good. At first, I thought it was Photoshop, but I was wrong. It's legit. Looks like a Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Award show. You know, of all the things that needed to be changed, it was never the color scheme. It was never the logo. I was fine with black and gold. I wanted changes, but these changes were just unnecessary. The bright and happy colors, man, it doesn't do it for me. It's a distraction. If the logo was just yellow, it would be cool. but it looks weird. So then they remodeled the performance center, and there's the stage setup. It looks kind of cool, but again, the rainbow colors, way too distracting when you watch the show on television. Maybe when you're there it's better, but it does not look good at all. I get it, they're trying to cater to a different audience, more of the sport world audience, people that watch like basketball, football, but I don't see them being interested in this because it's wrestling. Football, basketball, people will watch football, basketball. They won't watch wrestling if there's something that appeals to them. If you have AEW appealing to a more audience than NXT is, their new strategy, it's not going to work. Not only this, you had massive firings. Now, when Nick Khan said that there would be changes, I thought they would be minor, small changes. I didn't think he would shake NXT to its core. I was not expecting this. Bobby Fish was fired. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, they quit. Those three guys were the Undisputed Era. Only one member remains, that's Roderick Strong. We don't know when he'll be gone. They fired Bronson Reed. This guy debuted in WWE in 2019. For a couple of years, the guy was doing well for himself, but then they fired him. He lost the North American Championship. I believe it was they lose to Santos Escobar, I believe. I can't remember who he lost to. Then he lost to Adam Cole. And then he was gone. Karen Cross and his wife, Scarlett Bordeaux, both fired. They were only there for a year. Taya Valkyrie, who was playing a character named Frankie Monet, she wasn't even there for a year. She was also fired along with her husband, John Morrison. Hit Row. I enjoyed Hit Row in NXT. Called them up to SmackDown, all four of them. Ashanti the Adonis, AJ Francis, you had Shane Strickland, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and you had B-Fab. All four guys called up to SmackDown, lasted 2 weeks, then fired. Mercedes Martinez, a person who spent 20 years to get the WWE, the NXT, she was a part of the Robert Stone brand, jobbed out to Rhea Ripley, gets called up to the main roster, put in a Retribution mask, put her in the Retribution gimmick, only gets sent back down to NXT, job out to Xia Li, and then gets fired. Sad. She spends 20 years, finally gets to WWE and gets fired. Oh well. These last two are sad. Samoa Joe. I like Samoa Joe. They buried him on the main roster. They fired him, brought him back in NXT as a new commissioner, put the NXT belt around his waist, only to strip it from him, and fire him again at the end of the year. This guy got fired twice in 6 months. And then they have the audacity to fire William Regal, who was huge at scouting talent for NXT, huge part of the creative process. The general manager, Triple H's right-hand man, was fired. Just like that. Now look, I was not a big NXT fan, but I liked Triple H's vision for it. I liked NXT. I respected it, even though I had my fair share of issues. That doesn't mean just erase everything that Triple H did. It doesn't mean just dismantle the old NXT. I want changes, yes, there's out the old and the new, but do it slow and steady, one at a time, not all at once. That's what they were doing. They were getting rid of everything that the man built instead of using what the man had, using what Triple H had to transition it into something else. That's not what happened. They changed everything that Triple H built. They canceled their deal full sale. They remodeled the Capitol Wrestling Center into what it is now. They fired a lot of Triple H's talent and staff. And Triple H is nowhere to be seen. And I'm going to ask the question, why didn't Triple H speak up? Where was he? People needed him the most. This guy needed to speak up, and people needed him the most. This guy said nothing. And this proves me right about Triple H. Doesn't care about NXT, doesn't care about the fans, he cares about himself. He's another one of Vince McMahon's silent guardians, says yes to the boss because he wants to keep his job and stay married to the boss's daughter. If Triple H was not related to a McMahon, not in a high-powered situation, he would probably already be gone in another company somewhere. As long as he's married to Stephanie, as long as he's still the COO, he's going to play along with Vince McMahon, whether he likes her or not. And that's sad. NXT 2.0, to me, it showed Triple H's true colors. NXT may have been his biggest success. It's also his biggest bust. All right. Like I said, wasn't the biggest NXT fan, but you don't need to take down everything. You don't need to disrespect what Triple H built. You don't. This stuff, man, it's just sad to see where this brand was at. They were the #1 brand in North America. Then something happened. I get it. When you lose I get it. They lost the Wednesday Night War. When you lose the war, you have to pay war reparations. But how much longer must Vince continue to punish NXT? A couple months, fine. This has been over a year. And the damage has not yet been done. There's still more dismantling to do. How much? I don't know. NXT announced they're focusing on new talent. Braun Breaker, Tony D'Angelo, the Creed Brothers, Toxic Attraction, Persia Pirotta, Joe Gacy, Cora Jade, Andre Chase, and Solo Sikoa. I've been saying for years that WWE needs to focus on new talent. While they have brought in new talent to the product, just one problem. They're not. The problem is I have no idea who these guys are. Nor is the WWE telling you who they are and why you should care. Now, there are some people that are growing on me. I like Tony D'Angelo. I like Solo Sikoa. I like Joe Gacy. I like Braun Breaker. Cora Jade, somewhat growing on me. The Creed Brothers, somewhat growing on me. But at the end of the day, I have no idea who these people are. Unlike AEW, they have some well-known names. And if you're in the know, you watch current wrestling today, that's the show you're going to watch over this. NXT, they need bigger names. You know, I get it, Nick Khan wants to go out there and bring in people from, basketball, football, but if people don't know who those people are, they're not going to do well in NXT. In a rating show, you're only getting like 400 to 600,000 viewers. That's because, one, the shows suck. Two, everybody's a no-name jobber. At least that's what they feel like. This NXT 2.0 stuff, I'm giving it a chance, but it's not working. Give power back to Triple H, please. Give to somebody and just take it off the USA Network and reboot it. Discontinue the brand, bring back Evolve, bring back the guy who was running Evolve. I forgot who it was. They just fired him recently. And just do something different because this NXT stuff, it ain't working. So I presented you the aftermath. NXT, I used to love it back in 2015. Now, I just can't stand it. You called up so many guys, you buried them, have them lose the war to AEW, and this is what happens. The fans will turn away. If you can turn away over the hardcore marks that want to support this brand, you are definitely doing something wrong. This has been the 4 chapters of my NXT timeline. What video I do next, I don't know. Maybe TNA, maybe ROH, I don't know. But I will see you guys next time.